Today, I am keeping things very raw. I haven't done my hair, I haven't done my makeup, and I'm wearing pajamas, basically. And I don't care. These past few weeks for me have been pretty life-changing. I just have a lot on my mind today that I really would like to share. It's been years now that I've been feeling in conflict with the religion that I grew up in. And I know that's something that a lot of people won't understand, but that's just what it's been for me. It was finally in February that I was getting ready for church and I had a huge breakdown. And I was just like, I can't do this. And I expressed to my husband all of my doubts and all of my fears, and I felt even guilty feeling doubt, because that's wrong. You're faithless if you doubt. And I mean, before you all tell me, no, it's okay to doubt and whatever, like, I know that, but that's how I felt at the time. Anyway, everything that's been happening in the past couple years of my life has been leading me to this point. And I'm glad that I'm here now, but it's difficult at the same time. I know a lot of you are probably wanting a list of reasons of why I have chosen to leave my religion. And maybe one day I'll post a video trying to summarize, but really, I feel like it's been years of things that have happened and things that I've thought about and things that I've experienced, and it's really, really hard for me to whittle it down into a few minutes of, well, here's why, because there's no like one reason. If I were to give it one reason, it would be, this is who I am. This is how I feel. This is what I believe. I could be wrong, but how can you deny what you believe? I couldn't do it any longer. I couldn't be dishonest with myself anymore. So as I mentioned before, or you may be aware, a few weeks ago I had a friend of mine pass away. And that was a shock to my system. She had cystic fibrosis, so it was no surprise that her life was going to be cut short. But we all, I think, thought she had a lot more time than what she in reality did, since she passed away at the age of 22. And we have the same birthday, April 18th. So I think it was a wake-up call to me in a lot of ways, and also stirred up a lot of fear. And, who's gonna die next? Could I lose one of my siblings? Could I lose my husband or my son? And anyway, in the process of all of this, it's teaching me life is too short to be anything other than yourself. And that's what I'm trying to do. And it's hard, and it's scary, and sometimes I'm left feeling like, what am I doing? I don't even know who I am. I'm trying to figure that out. So, fast forwarding to this last weekend, it was a huge defining moment for me. My sister was getting married, my very best friend. Well, I'm best friends with both my sisters, so don't get mad, both of you. So she was getting married, and according to the rules of my religion, you have to have a special, let me explain. When someone gets married in our religion, they generally will get married in our temple, which is kind of like a church, but that's where special, we call ordinances take place, like marriage and other spiritual kind of defining moments with your relationship with the religion. So you get married there legally. And and also, like spiritually. So, in accordance with the rules of the religion, in order to be able to go into the temple and participate or review these special ordinances, you have to have what's called a temple recommend, which is essentially like a passport, if you will, to say, that you are, quote, worthy, and it's signed by your congregation leader, and you, so that you can, be approved to go and participate in those activities. So, although I've been in the midst of leaving the religion, I still have my temple recommend. It's still active. So this weekend, pretty much in the past 3 or 4 months, I've been struggling with what am I going to do about Brooke's wedding. Brooke is well aware of what's going on in my situation. She's the sister that's getting married. She's very understanding and very loving to me through all of this. And she's told me before, like, I trust that it's all going to work out for you, and I really appreciate her love and support. It's meant so much to me in this very difficult time. So I was trying to decide what to do. I have my recommend. I could go into the wedding. No one would stop me. But I had to decide what is going to be best for Brooke, because this is her wedding. And then I had to take into consideration what's going to be best for me as well. And I thought about it a lot, and I feel like what was best for her and me was the same thing, luckily. And it was to not go to her wedding ceremony. And that was so much more difficult than I could have imagined. And even after I made my decision, I felt like I kept feeling this, like, I could just go in there. No one's gonna stop me. I could just go. Like, and it was so hard not to go. And leading up to it, I was definitely afraid of what everyone was going to think about me, because in our religion, it's like if you don't go to the temple, it's either because you don't believe or you've, quote, sinned. And so it's like I'm kind of left out there vulnerably, letting people think maybe I've done something wrong, cheated on my husband or whatever. And so that was scary too. The reasons why I chose to refrain from going was because I knew this was Brooke's day, and I love her so much that I wanted to show her love and respect for her very, very important belief system. And so that was part of it. And the other part of it was I want to be honest with myself moving forward and show everyone who I am. And I don't agree that it was right that I couldn't be there, because I honestly feel if anyone deserved to be at her wedding, it should be me. I honestly feel that way. And that's not the way that this religion works, and that hurts me deeply. It hurts to think that my family all think that I was not worthy to be at my sister's wedding, because it makes it sound like they think I'm a bad person, and I don't think that I am. But this is the way I was raised, and this is the way that they view the world. And again, I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I'm saying it's hard to deal with that. Oh, how do you deal with that? It's freaking difficult. And I was just struggling so bad that I wasn't going to be able to be there. And it was really, really hard. But I decided to just love myself through it, to let myself be as sad and upset and cry as much as I needed to. And I did. And once I cried it out a lot, the night before, the morning, on the way there, afterward, lots of crying, I started to really allow myself to appreciate how happy I am for Brooke and her new husband, and tried to focus on that. And that helped me a lot. That gave me a lot of closure, I feel like. My husband said something that was so sweet. He said, "Morgan, you've always been there for Brooke for the important parts. This is just a contract." And that helped me a lot because I wanted to be there so, so bad. And it bothers me to think that there's all these people that are saying that you aren't worthy. And the fact that I could have walked in, I could have done it. But I chose not to. I chose to not be there out of love and respect. And I know that I made the right choice. But it was so, so hard. So, so hard. After the ceremony, obviously a lot of my family, my extended family, was wondering what was going on because very few people know of my decision to step back from the church. And, you know, I appreciate the ones that did know trying to cover for me. My brother and sister-in-law saying, "Oh, she's watching her baby," and things like that. And it's like, I mean, what do you say? It's like, well, you know, I don't think it was the right time to bring up, like, "Oh, she's leaving the church," because I didn't want to make that day about me. So I didn't want them to say those kind of things. I didn't give them anything to say. My mom told some of my extended family members, she's working through stuff. And so that could mean a lot of things, and I don't know how they took it, but they were all very kind to me on that day. And I'm grateful because I don't think they realize how hard it was to not be there, even when I could have been. And the reason why I wasn't there was because I was trying to be respectful of their beliefs. Anyway, I wondered in that moment when my mom said the whole, you know, she's working through stuff. I could have said to them, you know, no, I just don't believe the same way, you know. Because I want to be honest with myself. I want to put myself out there and say, no, this is what I think. Because lying to myself is what got me into this place in the first place, if that makes sense. But I don't think it was the right time to bring up my disassociation with the church. And I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't want that day to be about me. So anyway, I think the biggest thing that my friend Maddie passing has taught me is that life is too short to be anything other than yourself. And I know that this video can come across as maybe to some people that I'm attacking their beliefs, and that's not at all what I'm trying to do. I love a lot about the religion. I mean, the people in this religion, they're my people. They're my family. They're my ancestors. They're my friends. And I have the utmost respect for them. But I also know that I have to be honest with myself and what I believe is right. And I am courageously saying that I don't agree with the way that I was taught to view life growing up. So where am I at right now? This is really hard, and I'm taking it moment by moment. And I'm trusting that whatever is supposed to happen will happen. And I'm hoping that in being very vulnerable with all of you, that it can encourage you to be more honest with yourself and everyone around you. Yeah, life's too short to be anything but you. So, again, I know some of you are going to be wondering why it is that I'm leaving this church and what it is that I believe now. And I would invite you, if you have those questions, to watch my vlogs, because I don't think that this is anything I can pinpoint in just a few minutes in a YouTube video. So feel free to join me moving forward as I try to explain where I'm coming from and as I try to rediscover what spirituality means to me moving forward. That's it. Thank you, Pillow, for being a part of this journey with me.
Why do I always forget what I'm trying to say? I think these vlogs are just going to consist of me talking in circles. You don't have a choice. Well, you do. You can turn off.